tremendously changing. Computer and communication technologies have brought multiple vistas to access the information that has been subscribed by the library. At the same time, even the users also expect the information on their fingertips. The formats have been changed with regard to the information. The access models, access methods have been changed over the time. And so when people started accessing the information over the internet, so even libraries started feeling heat of that particular the internet yeah, access. Why? Because the people started using the online access and they could not, they are not ready to come to the library. So we, the librarians, also started worrying about our usage. So how we have to increase our usage in regard to the subscribed resources. And as you all know that we invest a lot of money on the subscription of the resources like journals, ebooks, the databases, data sets, and many more e-resources. And when we think about the usage related aspect, it is very difficult to attract the users to the libraries and use the computers kept in the library or in the institution. So because they prefer always the convenient time to access and their convenient possible ways to access the internet, the resources which we have subscribed. If you look at this last 8-9 months, which we have faced difficulties because of this COVID-19 and the lockdown, even most of the faculty and the students, they have faced in accessing resources because they could not able to access the resources because the lockdown did not allow them to go to their libraries or the institutions. Faculty face problems in preparing for the teaching. The students also face problem for preparing their assignments and the preparing for their exams and all. So in this scenario, this is one way we can say that this pandemic situation has forcibly pushed us to use and explore such kind of remote access possibilities to provide access to their doorstep. So with that brief introduction, so let us understand what is actually remote access. So when we talk about this remote access, the remote access itself gives an impression that sitting at a remote place, one can access the resources which is available in other places. It is the ability for an unauthorized person to access a computer or a network from a geographical location through a network or the internet connection. So this remote access uh, enable person to access the files or other systems resources which are available in the campus wide network on the campus network servers. So anybody can access using such methods the resources subscribed by the libraries too. And if you look at this library point of view, uh, these resources subscribed by the libraries needs to be provided to the end user. Uh, One is that in the campus, out of the campus. So when we say about the remote access, the library remote access facility provides secured off-campus access to the all the subscribed content by the library to its users. As users always expects uh, the the information on their fingertips, and it is possible to make it available through the remote access. One-time registration is always required to authenticate that the legitimacy of the user. And so once the registration is done, so the service can be activated to the users. So it's very simple that using the internet connected devices, one can access the services, the resources subscribed by the library over the internet. And this remote access removes the geographical barrier, and anywhere, anytime, people can access the resources without any interruption. Fine. If you look at this, the technologies which are available for the remote access, there are many technologies which are available to provide the remote access to enable the subscribed resources to the end user by sitting at their own place, or if they are traveling, they can also access during their travel time. So there are many ways. That is one such way is that remote desktop tools. which is, you might be familiar with this kind of tools during this pandemic, because most of the people they have used to access their computers kept in their offices. Uh, and it is very simple that it is one-to-one kind of interaction. For example, if you take, for best example for this remote desktop tools are TeamViewer and AnyDesk. And even the installation of this TeamViewer or AnyDesk is very easy. Anybody can install within 2-3 minutes. And once you install that kind of the tools in your system at the office, so uh, uh, by getting on that the team viewer, the you can connect from your personal network. And it is one thing is that randomly these team viewer or the anydesk generates the password. So if you make it, if you set the unattended access, even so if you set that kind of option in the team viewer or the anydesk, so that you could be able to, because you need to fix the password there. The permanent password can be made can be possible to fix there. And once you fix that permanent password, even you can you need not to worry about the password, but using that particular password and the ID, you could be able to access the files which have connected with that particular system. And the second tool is the VPN, the virtual private network, which is basically people will call it as VPN network. This VPN is an encrypted connection over the internet from a device to a network, and it is highly secure network for transmitting the data. We can send the data and we can receive the data on a secured based network. And one more thing is it get during this the connection. So the internet traffic does not impact on any it will not disrupt the connection, because we directly connected with the campus wide network. So it is a client server technology based network. And the best example for this VPN network is open VPN and the open span. The other tool, technology tool, is proxy servers. This proxy server is a computer system that functions as a relay between the client and the server. It basically works on the IP based the connect. It is basically based on the IP based connections. Um, it is restricted by the geographical tool, because when we use this IP or the gateway authentication, so the whatever the resources available on that particular IP could be able to access through this proxy servers. The best example for this proxy servers are Easy Proxy, Remote Access, and Nimbus. The fourth category is federation tools. There are federations which acts as an intermediator for establishing a platform between the publishers and the institution. And in regard to the India, InFed is one such instance created by InfluMed, um, uh, which acts as a platform to provide access to the institutional subscriber resources, and it acts as an intermediator, the platform between the publishers and the institutions. And if you look at this USA Internet tool, is the federation tool, which is mostly used by the institutions, academic institution in USA. And JISC is another federation tool which is used in United Kingdom. And there is one more subscriber tool which is CASA, which is developed by Google, Campus Activated Subscriber Access. So that will be talking in the later slides. Easy Proxy is a proxy server. It is basically developed by the OCLC, Online Computer Library Center, Ohio. It is going. It is based on the IP authentication and the user authentication. It is going to be uh, provide the service. It will enable users to access the resources on that particular platform. So the libraries which could be able to deliver the e-content to the users no matter where they are sitting and when they are accessing. And it is very simple to managed, and it is very effective. Also, it is very secured in regard to management of that particular platform, and legitimate users can access the resources subscribed by the institution. And most of the Indian libraries across the world, but most of the Indian libraries and the Asian countries, they have been using this easy praxis, looking at looking at the cost convenience of the product. This easy praxis is a commercial one and subscription based platform. So how does this work? The easy praxis works. So once the user is the easy proxy is set up for your institution, the user can log into that particular easy proxy server, proxy platform, and he can search for the item what you wanted to have. And once after searching the item, you can, if he wants to access that full text of that particular the article or the item, so you just click on that. You will just click on that full text. So what it does, the easy proxy does, is it authenticates the user and the IP address, and it enables the access to that particular person. So that way the user can access the resources once after logging into this easy proxy. So easy proxy integration at ACTREC, how they have been implemented in ACTREC. That is, easy practice basically they have also outsourced to the vendor, and they have an agreement with the vendor to maintain such the easy practice software, and it is basically renewed every year. And in case of any break during their subscription, so that the price will be going to be changed, or otherwise it is going to be remain same. EasyFX integration at ACTREC, an experience. So it is shown here that they have implemented. So here in the slide, you can observe that they have given a label, the button for remote access under on their website under the library page. And once that user clicks on that particular label, so that will take them to the next level, where user needs to give the username and password to access the remote access resources. So once by giving that username and password, people can enter into the resources subscribed, the platform where one can find all the resources subscribed by that particular institution. So here we can see that the ACTREC has subscribed to the e-resources, A to Z journals listing, and you can also see some of the major publishers which are listed in the first page. So here is the list of A to Z journals listed here. And by clicking on this particular, any particular journal, the particular person can look for the information in that particular journal. So he can read and he can download the material. So if you look at this background, how it is going to works at the back end. So generally it creates the text files of the users, and it is very easy to manage the user IDs and the passwords by creating the user.txt file. And even we can add the users, we can delete the users, and also it is possible to look for the usage statistics done on that particular platform. And it is possible to find out which database is being used more and which user is frequently accessing. And the database wise you can download the statistics, or this resources wise you can download the statistics, and the user wise also you can view the statistics. And once after creating such user text files and the user credentials in the easy proxy, that can be communicated to the user. And once you communicated the user, that after creation immediately it gets activated, and user can without any interruption he can access the resources subscribed by the ACTREC. Another technology tool is InFit, as I mentioned, which is developed by Inflinet to provide a platform for institutions to access the resources subscribed by that specific institution. to their users remotely. So this is the first instance which is in India, which is developed by the InfibNet, and basically this Infid has adopted this Shibboleth standalone open source software to develop this platform. And so how does it work? It basically collects the user information from the institution and the publisher details in their in the instance, and it is going to be act as a intermediate platform. And this makes users to access the resources without any interruption. Seamless access can be possible through this platform, and multiple access is possible at a time. And anywhere anybody can access this platform without any, as per their convenient time and as per their choice. And as of now, this service is provided by the implement for free of cost, and in future they may charge to provide this service. So how to join this the INFED? The universities and the colleges which are affiliated to UGC, so the such eligible institutions may submit their applications along with the signed participant agreement to the INFibNet, and uh, participating universities and the colleges or service providers are required to assign the person from the institution to look after the system at their institution. And basically, most of the colleges, the librarian acts as the administrative officer for this instance. And also, the IT help will be required for configuration and other any kind of the service required to monitor and implement this service. And basically, Infibet also provides service. They only install this. They only set up and install, set up and configure the Infed into our server, or we can also take their guidance in implementing such instance in our for our institution to provide remote access to the subscribed resources. So in our case, even in Nigeria also we have implemented this service for our users, where people can access from their desktops and from their home. So we have consulted the InfibNet, and Mr. Raja Scientist B. He has helped us to implement this uh, uh, service for our institution. So how to join this the Infed? So if you just go to this infed .infibnet.ac.in, so you can find the information related to how to join and who are the eligible institutions which can apply for such service. And here they have given the membership form. They have given the rules and regulations to become the member with this Infed platform. And there is also the use of personal data related terms and conditions. So one can approach Infibnet to implement this kind of service at any of your institution. Uh, the IDP or the remote access, which the using Infibnet, Shivaji University has developed its platform. Here we can see that Shivaji, how they have developed that. This is the page where we could land when we click on that uh, uh, remote access button. So it will be listed all the resources subscribed by the Shivaji University. Here we can see all the subscribed resources, and right side we can also see the contact details which we face any problem in accessing such service. So once you the institution resources are listed in this page. Once you click on any particular resource, it will take you to the next page. That page appears like this, and you need to give the username and password created for your given to you. And based on that, you can log into the resource, and you can seamlessly access the that particular resource without any interruption. You can read, you can download the resource. So that is this is about the infed. And when it comes to the another the technology tool, that is CASA, which is developed by Google in the year 2017, or around in sometime in 2018. This CASA is a campus activated subscriber access, which is provided by Google. So how it is going to work? For example, if you are using a campus-wide network and you are accessing some of the resources using Google Scholar, once you go back to the home or by using your personal network, if you log into your Google Scholar, if you start accessing, so you could be able to access the resources subscribed by your institution. That is one way. And another way is that by using your device, if you access the resources in the campus-wide network, so after going back out of the campus network, so or by using your personal network, you could be able to access the resources in that particular device. So how it is going to act? That CASA builds on Google Scholar subscriber links program. When a researcher or the user visits Google Scholar while on the campus, it remembers their affiliation, the institution affiliation or the IP affiliation. Accordingly, it releases the token to that particular user access. So it remembers that token, and once you go out of the campus network, though you go out of the campus network, you'll be able to access the resources on your personalized network. So it is an authentication service that provides off-campus access to legitimate users of an organization. So it does not require any much efforts from the user or from the library to enable this service. It is automatically enables when you log into Google Scholar in the campus-wide network, and when you go back to home, and from there also you can access the resources which has been accessed at the campus. And one thing you must remember, that the content is enabled only for the content which you have accessed there. For example, you have accessed the Wiley content in the campus wide area network, but you did not access the Taylor and Francis network, example. So if you go back to the home, and if you access use the Google Scholar for accessing the resources, you could be able to access only the January, because you have accessed the January content using campus wide area network, not the Taylor and Francis. So in that case, you could be able to see only that particular publisher's content on your personalized network. So it is basically a service, because most of the publishers participate on this program, which is developed by this Google Scholar, sorry, Google product. So another the concept is universal CASA, which is one step ahead of this CASA. It provides access to the subscribed content from any source. It is not necessarily you have to log in through the Google Scholar. Once in the campus-wide area network, if you log in with your credentials using your Google Chrome or Google product, any Google services, Google Scholar, or Google any product, any service. So it will authenticate your the affiliation, the institution affiliation, and your affiliation with the publisher subscribers links, and accordingly it releases this token, which is going to be authenticated when you access from the off campus. And once you go out of the campus by using your email also, if you for example, if somebody sends an email, you have access to one of the content, one of the publishers content in the campus wide area network. After going back to your home, if you search over the net, and if that particular email, that particular content has been mailed through you, and if you click on that link, you would be able to access that uh, content. So as I said, it is going to it temporarily it creates the token for that particular user, then the user as well as user accounts, Google accounts, which usually valid for 30 days. And so beyond 30 days, if you want to access, you need to re-log in with the particular campus-based domain network, so that it will be renewed for further 30 days. Why this CASA is required? Because this CASA enables us to access the subscribed content remotely, and so we all know that we will be investing money on this. We need to spend money on subscribing these proxy servers or the VPN based networks. Uh, so that is also a cumbersome process. And one more thing is does not provide the search patterns which we are looking for. And even this Google Casa also does not only provide the access to the subscribed resources when we search for, it also provides um the access to the content which is available in the public domain too. As I mentioned, this CASA enables seamless access to the licensed content of campus. So anywhere anybody can access this, and it does not require any much efforts to activate the service, as it is going to be as it is default by default it is enabled for your account. And no setup is required, no activation is required from the subscribed institution or from the user end. Universal CASA facilitates access from anywhere via any Google services, as I mentioned, using your Google Chrome, using your Gmail, using your Google account. Scholar, you can access such service. Most of the publishers are participating on this Google Casa. So if you look at this, major publishers are being participated on this platform, like Springer Nature, JSTOR, ProQuest, Gale, IJ Global, ACM, Sage, AAP, Elsewhere, Project Muse, Highway Price, Ingenta Connect, Wiley, Taylor and Francis, Annual Reviews. There are so many publishers which are here. I have listed only few of the publishers, but there are many publishers who have been participating on this CASA service, so that you can create awareness among your people, I mean the users, so that those people can access by sitting at their home. So how this CASA works. So look at this slide. So first step is that when it basically records the affiliation on campus. When we access some content, publishers content on campus, it basically records the affiliation of the user affiliation with that particular institution. Once you visit the Google Scholar or any of the Google product, what it does, it has the records of the subscribers links, like the publisher subscribers links, and it records the institution, your institution affiliation, and it releases the token. And when user access outside the campus, what it does is, because already you have accessed inside the campus network, and when you go out of the campus network, once you log in through your Google Scholar or any of the Google product, so you could be able that could be able to recognize your token, because it's already created the token when you made access on the campus wide network, and it automatically enables the access to the content which you have accessed on the campus wide network. So it records the affiliation, and then it authenticates and it enables the access. So if you look at this CASA settings in Google Scholar, so as I said, it is by default, it is enabled for everyone. In case if you don't want to enable this CASA service, so what you can do is just go to the Google Scholar, and the left hand side you can see the settings. Under that settings, you can find the account option is there. So there you can sign off with all the campus access links, and you can save the instance. Automatically it will update your account immediately. This is how you can disable if you want. And CASA function details is also given on the Google Scholar, so you can also find this information in the settings. So if you look at this CASA, uh, uh, this is an example for CASA service. Like when you access is already made in the campus wide network, and when you go out of the campus network, so when you have made a search on the Google Scholar or any of the Google product using Google product, here left side you can see the PDF, the button which is appeared there. This is how it looks, because I have tried to access this applied economics letters journal inside the campus network, and after going out of the campus network, I wanted to read this article. So after going back, when I made a search, it will list out the items, and clicking on this item, so I could be able to see this left right hand side button, that PDF button, which means that this is casa based service has been enabled for your account, and you are accessing through the casa platform, casa service. And what are the advantages and the disadvantages related with this CASA? CASA is basically a automatically enabled service for the users, and it does not require any effort from the library or from the user, and no action is required by the user to access the content. And the publishers, those are participating on the CASA for the CASA service, those content could be able to made available for the users, and it is free for all as of now, and anybody can access the content without any interruption 24 into 7. And it enable access to the licensed content remotely without any institutional access authentications. So it basically removes the saves the time, and removes the cumbersome users find in the other, like VPN network or any other platform, because they need to use the username and password to access that particular platforms. Here, one need not to give such users credentials to access, as you have already made available. Already you have accessed the campus-wide network, and when you go out of the network, also you could be able to access through this Google Casa service. And the limitations particular pertaining to this Casa is that this token which is released by the Google Casa service is valid for only 30 days. And so if you want to access, they retain the longer time of the access, you need to re-log in or regain the access through your campus network, so that it will be allowed for further 30 days. And this access is limited to content which has been accessed on the campus. So, and the publishers, those who have participated on the CASA, only such content can be accessible through this CASA service. So, if you look at this remote access, the advantages and the limitations. So, remote access is very easy to install, and very easy to manage and monitor, and it enable us to the access the licensed content, remote access, wherever you are and wherever people, if they are traveling, if they are at home and using any device what they have on their personal network. And any type of library, and as we all know that we are facing a lot of difficulty in attracting users to the libraries, and they want always the information on their fingertips, and they don't want to waste their time, and they want information as per their convenient time and as per their requirement. So to make available such resources which we have subscribed by the institution, so we must enable this remote access options, explore remote access options, and make them available, um, so that people can access without any interruption. And the usage will be automatically it is going to be increased as the people can access the resources without any geographical barrier. And it is possible to provide seamless access. Multiple users can access at a time through these various remote access platforms. And this kind of remote access allows authentic user to access, and the registered users, those who are registered with that particular platform or the institution, could be able to access. So that's how we can ensure the legitimacy of the user, and it is a secure way to provide access to the subscribed resources, and it basically saves the user time, as they don't require to come to a library. By sitting at their home, or by using their personal devices, they can access the resources. The limitations which are associated with this remote access is, one is that these tools are commercial tools are very like a cost based one, and you need to maintain. Uh, that is one limitation, and the second limitation, it requires some certain kind of exportation, technical exportations to support this kind of remote access services. And if you at the end, so if you look at this overall summary, that these are the remote access, the tools which are available are very simple applications, which is possible to reach out the users and provide access to the subscribed resources to the users without any interruption. And it generally enhances the usage of the subscribed resources, online resources, and people also prefer to use such resources. And we can remove the geographical barriers what we have, and we can remove the time barrier too. uh, so always libraries, we always think about the return of investment, because as we have invest huge amount on the subscription and the products which we subscribe for our users. And obviously we always look at the usage point of view, and it is a best way that we can enable the remote access, and people can access more and more the subscribed resources. And it gives an option for the users to choose their own time and their own space to access the resources what we have subscribed to through this remote access service. And basically it empowers the user access library to the, as I mentioned, the geographical, it removes the geographical barriers. And indirectly it also enhances the library image, as we are providing access, seamless access without any interruption, without any the interruption, the staff interruption. People can access the resources. So a user also feel proud about their institution. And basically, so what we talk about this fourth law of libraries and save the time of the reader. So through this kind of remote access, we can also save the time of the reader. So one need not to come to the library, or one need not to access to come to the institution premises to access the resources. So this is how we can enable the service. So I'll be just demonstrating you about the Google, because we have got little more time. So this is the infed dot implement.ac.in. Once if you want more information, if you want to access more details about the infed federation, you just go to this site and you can access the complete details of uh, the infed, and you can also contact the people. Contact details is also given. You can also installation guide is also given. One is that they are going to help us. Another part is that from our IT department help also, the institution IT department help also we can take to implement such instance at our institution. Um, so in regard to CASA, so how we can access, for example, now I'm searching for in a campus-wide network, I'll be searching an article which is available in which is subscribed by the IJIDR. For example, I'll go to, so I'm accessing this publishes content using Google Scholar or Google, any Google of any of your Google account, Google service. So once you access this particular item, because it is enabled, all the items are enabled for me because I'm in the campus wide area network. So if I click any of this button, so once I log into this kind of the publisher's content using the Chrome or the Google Scholar, if you for example, if you are looking for any article in the Google Scholar, so if you go to the Google Scholar, sir, you made a search on some content. So once you access this content, automatically the token will be created at the back end for your to your account. And once you are out of the network, also you could be able to access. Not only that, even whatever the articles you have, what you can do is that you can list out the articles, you can copy those articles and put it in your the email, push it to your email. After going back to your home, you can also access that particular articles full text. So when you go back to the uh, when you are out of the campus using your personal network, when you uh, click on that particular item, so it will take you to this page, and right hand side you could be able to see the that PDF icon. So it means that you are accessing this document through the CASA service. Thank you. So I have done with my presentation, so I'll be very happy to answer if any queries.
Yes. Any queries from the participant, please? Actually, we had requested them to write down in the chat box, but
Okay.
till this time, no one has raised any query. Uh, I request to raise any query if you have. Please, we will wait for another 1 or 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I think there is no doubt or no query. So, may I request Aditi ma'am to express their vote of thanks. Aditi ma'am, please.
I think there is one question, Mrs.
Sure.
Paul.
Yes.
There is a
Yeah,
question.
yeah, right now, yeah, there is question. One question has come. It is, can we use this CASA for school purpose? So,
Anybody can use this CASA service. Like as I mentioned, one thing you need to ensure that you have made access on the campus wide area network. So once you go out of by using any Google services, and once you go out of the network, you could be able to access the resources. That to whatever the subscribed content, the publishers participated on the CASA service.
okay. Komal madam, is this clear for you? Another question has come, sir. Using CASA, can we access whole database or only save articles?
Yes, yes, yes. You can access. For example, see whatever the publisher, those who have participated on the CASA service, those that particular publisher's content can be accessible even after out of the campus.
Okay.
And when it comes to the maybe the single user access which we have provided, for example, if you take the CMI Prowess or the indiastat.com, these are the things which we don't get outside access. For that, I think it is better to use the VPN access to access such kind of databases, which is not possible to access from outside the campus.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Any questions? Aditi madam, over to you, please.
Yes, sir. I have one question. That is that InFed available for only 12B and 2F colleges or all colleges?
I think it is available for all the institutions which are affiliated to UGC. Like anybody can approach to the internet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, it was a indeed very useful and informative session. And this is the most important topic nowadays for the libraries to give access to their e-resources available outside. So we have updated about remote access, how what are the technologies and open source remote access. What are the services available like InFed and CASA. You have showed us is how is it proxy integration at Actric and InFed implemented at Shivaji University and CASA service IJDR. So we thank you very much for accepting our invitation and sparing your time to deliver the fantastic session. Thank you once again, sir.
Thank you, madam. Hope I have given little justice to the Dr. Satish Manavali sir presentation. You would have been made in different manner. You would have touched upon many other aspects of the topics which has mentioned in the presentation. Thank you so much, madam. I, my sincere thanks
Welcome.
to the organizers. Thank you.
Welcome, sir.
Welcome, sir. We will move on to our next session on open resources. Open resources are freely accessible, open license texts, media, and other digital assets that are useful for
Initially,
teaching, learning, and assessing. As yes, sir.
yeah, it's still 10 more minutes are there. You would like to wait, a break, you want to use break, so you can use the break. We can start at 11:30. That would be better.
Yeah, that will do, no problem.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, you decide. See, this is because 10 more minutes are there. Or I don't mind. I don't mind starting immediately.
I think we can start, sir.
Okay, fine.
Okay, okay.
So these are useful for teaching, learning, accessing, as well as for research purpose. And for this session, we have Dr. Pujar. Welcome, sir. So before handing over the session, I will briefly introduce about him. Dr. Shyam Prasad Pujar is working with Indira Gandhi Institute of Development Research, IGIDR Mumbai, as a chief librarian. He is working with IGIDR since November 1996 under different capacities. Earlier to this, he worked with national and state level organizations and also as a librarian in a university between 2006 and 2008 on leave from IGIDR. He has professional experience of 29 years. His qualifications include MLIC, MA Political Science, PhD Library and Information Science, and PGDCA. He is the recipient of IFLA ALP and Commonwealth Professional Fellowships. He has more than 42 publications to his credit, out of which 28 plus publications have been published in national and international journals, and has guided 4 students for PhD at Department of Library and Information Science, Shivaji University, Kolhapur. He has undertaken collaborative projects in association with IDS Sussex, UK. His core areas of research include internet resources, search engines, discovery tools, open access, ICT applications to libraries, and research matrices. So, welcome, sir.
Thank you, Rajeshri, for a nice introduction. And thank you to organizers, SPC, for being to share some of my thoughts. I'll be talking about open resources, open e-resources. I'll just share my screen. I hope the presentation is visible.
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay, fine, fine. Thank you. So, good morning to all of you. So, I'll be talking, as I mentioned, I'll be talking about open e-resources, which we are using in our day-to-day academic activity. And as a library and information professionals, we do provide access to these resources, and we identify and we also make our users aware of these resources and encourage them to use these resources for their study and teaching. So I'll be during this my presentation. I'll be talking about open access resources, why and how their emergence has happened, and how they become integral part of today's education and research, and why as we as a librarians need to make use of these resources, and why we encourage our users to. As you know, all that there are a lot of open resources that could be free or it could be open access resources. In general, I'm talking about. So we have books, including open textbooks. Now open textbooks will become a very kind of a phenomena wherein that world over people are using these resources, and especially these are being very popular now during this pandemic time, as users are away from their institutions and getting hold of any copyrighted material is become very expensive. For example, might have heard that a lot of e-books, the sudden spurt in the prices of the e-books, and also in UK and all, there are some scams that have happened, and wherein that unprecedented increase in the price of e-books also led to some campaigns wherein that libraries have come out with that, and they are protesting against the increase in the cost. And there are journals, a lot of journals available in open access as open access e-resources. And thesis and dissertations that all of you know about, and the preprints or the working papers or the digital repositories. Then statistical data, which is become open nowadays, it's popularly known as open data, and patents and standards. which is very much used in technological science and technology research institutions. So these are also available. Some of the patent offices have made available these resources online. Course material, that's what we popularly known as open educational materials or OER. And MOOCs, massive open online courses. These are online courses. How they also contribute in providing free access to the courses. Of course, certification does require a payment, but otherwise, also there are many Indian like SWAYAM and NPTEL, where that many of the courses can be taken by anybody and by paying a very minimum amount. And there are images and videos which are also becoming integral part of a study and research. How from here one can access this, and social media, of course, where that blogs are there, forums are there, through which one can get access to the content. And these are independently how what are the different sites I'll be covering, and apart from that, how you can discover these resources using a discovery tools, knowledge discovery tools like Google Scholar, or which are available freely on the internet. How you can discover these using those kind of tools for each of the content. That I'll be talking about some discovery tools, starting from the academic discovery tools to even the like images and video. There are some kind of such. Then at the end, I'll give a summary. And coming to the introductory, this thing, access to e-resource has become omnipresent in the digital world. See, without which any of us or any of our users will be able to access to any of the digital content. And apart from subscribed content, a huge amount of open scholarly content is available in the public domain. See, whatever we subscribe, it's very limited. So we may subscribe to few of the publishers' content, whereas we will not be able to subscribe to much of this thing, because it depends on the budget what we have, or we will be getting something from Enlist, or we will be getting something from UGC Infonet, like e-Shodha what today we know it. So, or maybe some other consortium in case some of the institutions have a consortium access. Otherwise, whatever in India, whatever most of the libraries do have access is what they pay for it. Basically, it is a subscribed content. But apart from subscribed content, as you all aware that there is a huge amount of open scholarly content is available in the public domain. So public domain means it is free of cost to anyone, whether within your campus or outside the campus. And open e-resources have become part of teaching and learning, as I mentioned earlier, they have become a part and parcel of that. And they provide scholarly information to users at no cost. This is very important, because when it comes to the subscription-based access, on behalf of the users, libraries or the institution pay for the subscription, and in turn our users get access to it. And here, advantage with open resources, they are in most at no cost, and also in most cases they are available, they are free from the copyright. So this is very important, and that we need to highlight our users that they come with an open license. That is what we call as Creative Commons. Some of all of you may be aware of it. So it's an open license wherein that you use the reuse rights to the users in order to make. Of course, there are different kind of common Creative Commons licenses are there, but most of them are for kind of a free reuse, except certain these things very stringent Creative Commons license. And they are available in various forms, as I listed out earlier: databases, journals, preprints, course material, many of them. And providing access to such makes value addition to library connection. See, what always we talk about library beyond the four walls, and the internet has really made it possible that way. So whatever we provide, and that will be kind of a present kind of pandemic situation, wherein that we are working almost from the home, or partially we are going to the offices and trying to work and trying to provide. There are still our users are not on the campuses because of the government regulations, because of the COVID situation. Still, it's not becoming a normal. So wherein that when you provide these kind of efforts, when you tell your teachers that see book access will not, but whereas there is an open access content which is available in your same area, why not you make use of it? If you suggest to the teachers, in turn teachers also can tell students to make use of such resources. So this way it will make an evaluation to these library collections. You had a talk about website development and all the yesterday's session. So you can have a kind of a gateway kind of a thing website you can develop using what yesterday you talked about Joomla et al. Or if you're not comfortable with Joomla, there are free tools like Wix, Weebly, which are available, where that is just a drag and drop. You have to create a account like your email, and you can just drag and drop the content, and automatically you will be able to create a gateway for your library. So providing these kind of access to e-resources will enable the image of the library. I think Dr. Reddy today is talking about when you providing remote access, how the image of the library will go. So this is a very important thing we need to make note of it. And why we need to encourage the open access resources, because open resources are available at no cost and help to remove the digital divide among learners. Because as you all know that in earlier days, we had very limited access to resource till the UGC Infonet came earlier, that it was earlier named e-Shores. And also there was one more network for technology institutions, but now they are indexed. So now both have been combined to e-Shores. So we had very universities and all colleges with very limited access, but because of enlist and e-Shores, now they do get access to a lot of content. And our institutions which are like privileged institutions where they had their only access, and many of these never used to be available. And these are available online for 24 into 7, 365 days. So anytime, anywhere, so people can access using any of their devices. Only the requirement is they need to have internet access. And it increases the visibility and utilization of academic and scholarly content, because see, many times the users are not aware of that what is available, what is an alternative. For example, I am not going to get this, then what would be the alternative? So in case if you say this is an alternative which you can see, just check and use it, definitely it increases the visibility of such content, and it saves the time and money for you and for your organization, so that you are trying to make available what is openly available, and very helpful, as I mentioned to you earlier, in emergency situation like the present pandemic. Coming to the open resources books, so which is a main content which is being used in the most of our institutions. One is there is a how from where you can get access to these ebooks is there is a directory of open access books. Okay, it is it indexes in many of the, I think it takes around more than 17,000 books. So though where in that they are spread out to different disciplines. So if you go here and you can access these books. And similarly, there is a National Academic Press is there, and there's the open access publishing in European network. There's a lot of books are available, and there is an open book publishers, and there is an open textbook library. And Project Gutenberg, which is one of the very oldest kind of open book repository which is available on the internet, and it basically includes the old classics in literature and other subject areas. And OpenStax is a project wherein that it is encouraging for developing of open textbooks. Open kind of a content is being developed out there. And there are open access ebooks. Apart from these resources which have been developed by different organizations, there are also publishers nowadays publishing open access. Okay, so when you go to an individual publisher website, so if you can, here I provided some of the links. So if you Oxford, the Cambridge, Springer, JSTOR, elsewhere, if you go to the site, there is an open, always they have developed a separate search for that, like springeropen.com, something like that. So if you go there, you'll be able to get access to. At the end of the session, I'll demonstrate some of these resources, whatever I'm talking about, subject to time availability. So at the time, I'll explain that how you one or two resources I'll go and try to show you that how you can retrieve this. Coming to the journals, open journals, open access journals, we have all of you know about the DOAJ, Director of Open Access Journals, how it has taken the forefront and provides access to many of the open access journals from different disciplines. And also, I'm happy to say that many of these journals have been indexed in citation tools like Scopus, Web of Science, and also some of them are also available in UGC care list. So that way, they also adhere to the requirement of academic accreditation of Indian academic accreditation, wherein that if any of these journals, if your faculty members publish articles there, even that is recognized. So that you as a librarian need to undertake a study and find out from the director of open access journals how many of the journals in your area, like you may be in engineering or you may be in kind of a college, a degree college, or wherever you work, you can try to find out that how many of the open access journals in those subject areas have been indexed in the Scopus or Web of Science. That is very easy because Web of Science and Scopus, both the things, they have their list of journals included, has been made available freely for the users. If you go there, then you can automatically try to get access to those journals and and make out that whether these have been available in. So if you bring those journals to the attention of your faculty, then there is a, because one more advantage here, they don't charge even the APC, author article processing charges. There's an advantage here. So what happens, that encourages them to publish. Otherwise, what happens? Many of our teachers, they don't know, because open access is not being also being taken seriously, because they are not available in citation indexes, and whether if I write publish something there, whether I am going to get a recognition or not. So we as librarians need to encourage our users. We need to tell our users about what is open access, what are the advantages it will happen, how it will build. At least if out of, say that if you have 50 or 40 or 30 faculty, even if one or two publish there, that itself will be a great credit, and then you encourage at least two people to publish in such journals. In turn, they are also getting credit for what they are publishing. So like DOAJ, there is electronic journals libraries there. There is also open access journals. There is one more, and there are PLOs is a group of journals being published. Is one of the very well-known journal publishing this thing wherein that they publish basically by taking article processing charges. Very expensive, but just to mention that, but the journals are very good. You can bring these to the attention of your faculty. Like the open access books, even open access journals of publishers, many of the publishers are publishing those kind of journals. Like elsewhere is there, Springer Open. So where if you go there, you come to know about the list of open access journals published by the commercial publishers. Okay, so you will have additional content, additional journals in your subject area, which you can link up from your website. So in turn, you are helping your users to get access to content of those. Otherwise, these are ultimately become a kind of this thing will not be accessed by any of the users. So by that way, you'll be making an addition to your collection, and even accreditation agency, when they come, you can say we have provided access to these many journals. You can say that ultimately these out of these many subscribed and these many available in open access platform. So on open access platform, so because of that reason, so you'll be having a long list of journals what is available, and also your users, some of your users may get access to some of the content. Even if you are good in, even you can develop a custom search engine of include of all these journals using a Google custom search engine service. You can develop a search engine for that, so that your users will be able to get access to the content within what is available within that. So in fact, this Rajashree has done this kind of a search engine for the content what is being subscribed in SPCE, CET, and even in fact she published a paper in Desktop Bulletin, which was published some time back. So that way, what will happen? It will have advantages for users, and also you are putting your users into access to what you subscribed and what is available openly, what you think is the content useful. So that way, you are not exposing them to use information explosion. So that way, they can limit their searches only to this kind of content. So this is a very good resource which I encourage you librarians to bring into the attention of your faculty members or students. And coming to the open thesis and dissertations which are openly available, all of you know about Shodhaganga, where that most of the theses which are submitted to Indian universities are available on there. So as a part of each of the institutions who will sign a MOU with the InFlipNet and make available their thesis either directly on Shodhaganga or through their digital repositories, both the way it works. So that way they are available over there. Apart from what is available on Shodhaganga, there are also some independent institutes like NAL, all those kind. They also made available some of their whatever the content thesis kind of thing, or submitted to those institutions. But because of the certain restriction, they may not be making available. Like IIC, for example, all of these things may not be available, but some of them are available. And world over, there are the different directories. One is open access thesis and dissertation, which is popularly known as OATD. World over, whatever thesis and dissertation is submitted in different disciplines can be accessed from. So you can name, yes, you can tell your users or your especially the faculty members who are doing their research. So you can tell them, show them that how you can access thesis and dissertation from there, how they can download the full text thesis. Similarly, from the commercial, some of the commercial agents like ProQuest and EBSCO, they have also developed a separate search for open thesis, open the access thesis and dissertations which are available, which have been indexed by them. So apart, because these two services also provide access to the thesis and dissertation on a payment basis, but some of them which are open nowadays, they have also provided a search engine for that. You should be aware of these kind of things so that you can tell your users when you're in orientation you provide, or you can communicate it over email so they can look for these kind of dissertations and open access this dissertation from these resources. Of course, all of you may be knowing about NDTLD, so NDLTD, Network Digital Library of this dissertation. This is the agency which encouraged world over for the libraries and organizations to post their thesis and dissertation in the open access platform. This was that's what if some of you remember, there was earlier project called Vidyanidhi before Shodham came into picture, developed by Dr. Shalini R's earlier days. So that was the because of the NDTLT initiative, they started providing first in India the access to the thesis and dissertation. Later on, Shodham came and Vidyanidhi, even though it was doing, but I don't know the present status, but so it was the one which started providing access in India. Coming to the preprints and the working papers, preprints are a very good resources where that pre-publication, they are basically pre-publications which have been hosted on these repositories by individual researchers, or even sometimes even the institutions also doing that as an institution as a whole. So, but in case of computer science and mathematics, technology, archive, this is a very important source where in that many of the researchers they post their papers over there. So they are kind of a pre-publication. Of course, their length is a bit large. But only thing is, of late during this pandemic times, a lot of articles have been uploaded on this site by medical professionals, biomedical life science people regarding COVID-19 lockdown. So there is a kind of question about the quality because they have not been peer-reviewed. So this kind of thing also happens when some pandemic kind of situation happens. A lot of research, a lot of people are undertaking their work, so they would like to bring their research into the attention of others. So they keep posting their papers onto these kind of preprint repositories. And there is in case of health sciences, there is a bio archive, so which is very good. And in social sciences, the REPEC is an SSR and social science archive, e-social sciences. And in case of chemicals, chemistry and chemical technology, there is a chem archive, which where in that researchers do host a lot of papers there. This preprint repository is also a kind of a open resources which we should bring to the attention of our users. So that help you to kind of a thing bringing to the attention of them how the publications which are available online may also add and help in order to undertake the research or study or teaching. So because teaching also requires a lot of material background, many times many of the teachers may have to refer some of the papers to the students to do a kind of a activity, especially in engineering and technology. Many of the students undertake project and in their final semester. So if you bring to attention of these kind of repositories to their attention, definitely they may get access to some of the content which will be very useful for their study and teaching. And coming to the digital repositories, you know that all over the world and each and every institution has its own digital repository, or what is popularly known as institutional repository. Because most of the content, what is emanating from those institutions is being indexed over there, and they try to provide access to the resource. For example, in IGL, we have a Kautila digital repository wherein we host our working papers, we host our thesis and dissertation up to abstract level presently. Soon we'll be hosting the full text of our thesis and dissertations there, because we will also be going to be part of Shodhaganga shortly. So that way, individual digital repositories all over the world. But you want to know what are those digital repositories? For example, India, how many are there? For example, if you go to this open door directory, but only the limitation is what whoever has index their digital repository in open door, only those will be able. If some digital repository, if the institution or the people who are associated with the development of, if they are not sent, they are not registered with open door, then definitely those repositories will not be available. But from India, there are a good number which will be indexed. Similarly, other countries also, they have been indexed over there. So you can go and check it up and what digital library available in your area or in where the institute areas of research are studied. And coming to the open data, so you know know that nowadays there is a lot of, we hear about research data management or the statistical data brought out by the government. Like that Census of India a few years back, the data used to be available only in the print form. Later on, they started bringing the e-form on CD-ROMs, and initially it started with floppies. I don't know, some of you may be knowing the floppy used to be a kind of a storage device earlier days. And later on CD-ROMs came in, and now they are made available most of the data in open as open data on the web. Of course, it may not be available not up to ward level, but at least now earlier it was available up to state level. I think now data is available up to district level also. So here you can go and try to find out the data, and you can encourage, you can educate your users who are working in social sciences, and even maybe sometimes even the science also, because they would like to know about some population related data, various aspects of population, Indian population, then you will be able to get access. Similarly, there is a data.gov.in, which talks about different data sources released by different ministries of government of India. Similarly, each of the state governments also trying to have its own repository. Like Maharashtra government also has its own repository, trying to provide a free access to most of it what it is producing. May not be updated some cases, because it depends on, because there is a delay in publication from the government department. So sometimes you're not getting the resource immediately. And ICSR also has started, Indian Council of Social Science Research also started a data service, which wherein that you will get access to NSS, like National Sample Survey data, or annual survey of industries data, which is freely available nowadays. Earlier, when in our library, we used to get subscribed to this data by paying huge sum of money. But now it's in a project between ICSR and TEQIP-III. They have started this service where that you can get access to all of this data. So you can bring this attention to everybody. Similarly, World Bank, United Nations, UNESCO Institute of Statistics, ILO, all these institutions are providing their data openly. Even IMF also provides the data. So they have developed a open data repositories, so wherein that users can. But coming to the research data management, means the research, your faculty or the whatever research happening in all over the world in different institutions, each of the research, the research publication also has the background data. But in the paper, they publish very few tables, or maybe few figures will come. But whereas a large quantity of data is never comes to the picture of the any of the users who are trying to access it. So now there are kind of services. Even nowadays, even the journals do provide supplement data, and that's being hosted, and it's being made available through using various data repositories. Like one is the Figshare. It is a kind of a common database for anyone in all the disciplines. If you go here, you will be able to find the data used for a particular research, which is hosted by individual researchers like you and me. So you can know about it. It is freely available. Anybody can download data, whatever is available. Similarly, in Harvard, there is a Dataverse. Harvard Dataverse. Dataverse is basically a software which is used by different institutions in order to provide access to the research data, what is being produced within that institution openly. So Harvard, there is one initiative. Similarly, Dataverse software used by different institutions all over the world. So in order to provide access to the data, what is being used in a group of institutions or in a particular institution for undertaking a research. Because see, data is gold nowadays in today's world. See, you might have heard about that, how social media sites like Facebook, Google, and collect all of our data. And Amazon, for example, they make use of it to identify the consumer behavior, or in order to identify how people search information, what all they search, where all they go. Okay, so they know more than what you know about yourself. Because so this is basically, they collect all of the data, and who clicks, and who are among your friends, how many people have liked. Okay, they're quite interesting figures. So those kind of this thing. So if your institution, so any of the institution, this research data is available, then definitely it's going to be very helpful for you users, so that you can talk about it whenever you can explore it and try to bring this to the attention of your users. And coming to the patent and standards, there are, as you know, that there are many patents, and these are a very useful source of information, especially in technology, science and technology, basically. So there are some ETSI. This is basically provides standards, access to standards. Other one is also UGC, geospatial area. There are some standards, whatever they is trying to provide access to. And European Patent Office, it provides full text access to all the patents, what is being hosted. And there is a USPTO, this is United States Patent and Trademark Office. Most of the content is openly available. And for Indian Patent Advanced Search System is also available for access. But I'm not sure whether it provides full text access, but you will come to know what are the patents being filed in Indian Patent Advanced Search System. So using these resources, you can try to make these resources available to your users so they can access any of the patents, whether, for example, somebody is doing innovation, because in engineering colleges, students do a project. Many times what happens, I have read in the newspaper also something which they do innovatively. And also they participate in international award programs. So if they know in beforehand, there's some patent which is being undertaken, so they'll not duplicate the work. So in case if they are trying to register a patent on the what innovation they have done, so then in beforehand they can access it. Is there any patent has been already registered with any of the patent officer? So that they can see in India or in other countries. So this kind of information is very useful not only for undertaking innovation, also for their research, for their studies. For example, referring to some patents, you may try to develop some product. For example, you take an example of pressure cooker. This is based on the ISI, Indian Standards Institution. There is a standard given for that, how they have undertaken that. Of course, that standard not be accessible openly, but if you get the standard, you know that how it is being developed. So this kind of a things that you can provide access. What is freely available? I'm not saying that you subscribe something. What is freely available, which can be brought to the attention of users. And coming to the course material, because course material is an important segment of study and teaching in most of the colleges, whether it is sciences, social sciences, or technology. So wherein it becomes very important because teachers will not be aware of many of these kind of course materials that are available. So there are here I talking about Commonwealth of Learning. It provides a lot of course material being used for different this thing. And the National Digital Library of India, apart from hosting the digitized content from various this thing, it also provides access to a lot of course material, open education sources, which will be indexed over there. That is being developed by different institutions in India that have been indexed over there. And you all know about EPG Pathshala, how this resource Implement has developed a course material for different PG courses taught in India. So this has been undertaken. These kind of a course material has been developed by teachers working in different universities and colleges. They have developed it and it is being made available. It contains both text and also videos. So you can encourage your students if you are running some PG programs in your colleges. So of course, maybe it depends on number of such courses, such course material available in different disciplines may vary. It depends on the contribution made. That is our international level. There is a multimedia education resource for learning and online teaching is popular in Maryland, which also provides good content using a multimedia, how there are different content being developed that may be useful for some of your teachers. Then very good, very open. This MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology in USA, has an open courseware. It's one of the leading institutions in the world, providing all of its course material. Any of the courses taught in MIT is made available. All of its course material online. Anybody can go there. Anybody can download the course material. You can tell your teacher, see MIT how it has developed a course based on how their course material works, and they can take it and you can develop your own course material. Even you can have your own repository where now you can encourage your faculty to upload it on YouTube. So not only it will be useful for him or her, so it can be used by many other institutions, or you can link it up from your website developed by any. Because nowadays, all of you know that open content also adds to your API. Okay, so academic performance indicators, if any of the open content developed by you as a teacher or you as a librarian or you as a teachers, any of your teachers will add some credits to them so that they can produce it at the time of their promotions, all those things. So when anybody does this, when they know that there is an incentive for that. So because it requires additional efforts on the part of teachers, on the part of you also. So in order to, if any incentive that definitely people find it interesting to do, not only they'll do good for themselves, they'll do good for the society also. So then there is a OER Commons, it's a very popular one, wherein that we can find out open education resources developed by different resource people. Even you can encourage your teachers to submit their material, because it accepts any of the open education material developed by any of the teachers, so they can index it over there, so that they'll not only helping they themselves, they can later on you can just provide a link. Okay, here you go to this site, you can download this thing. And also, there is MHRD has developed a very good. When the pandemic happened, they brought out a complete list of online learning resources, what is available for the users, for the students and the faculty. So they provided a link and sent a circular to different universities and the colleges, saying that these are the complete list of resources what we MHRD has developed in association with implemented other agencies. And there's a complete list. We have provided. I have provided a link over here, which you can refer and which you can access and you can bring to the attention of your users. And coming to the open resources, MOOCs, I'll not be delve much into it because tomorrow we have a session on the complete session on MOOCs by Professor Bansude. So I'll just tell you about the only from the open as an open e-resource, MOOCs as an open e-resource. You know that these resources, most of these courses are available openly on the internet. Okay, as I mentioned in the beginning, for study, they are free. Only in case if you need a certification or you want to take an exam, then you will have to pay certain fees in order to get the certificate. Because the certificate will be issued only for the people who complete the course and who complete all the assignments. Like these are some of the platforms. So all of you know Canvas Network at international level, Coursera, EDX, Twitter, these are also available at international level. Some are from European countries and some are from America. So here anybody can undertake a course. For example, you remember Coursera has did a splendid job of offering a Coursera for campus when the pandemic started. They offered many of the courses to the institutions free of cost. Even some of the institutions coordinated this activity, and many of the students took advantage of it because they got a certificate from a world-renowned universities like MIT, Yale, and all. Some of the courses they did, and they got a certificate from them at no cost. So because of the Coursera initiative, so many of these kind of things keep getting announced by these sites, so which you can explore. And NPTEL in engineering is very well known, and not only is it, even I was just checking it when I was preparing this PPT, they do also offer courses in general personality development also. So I think if we from different schools or different institutions, they are offering that. So if you are interested in learning, definitely one can register there and try to learn something. This NPTEL also offers something. And coming to the open resources, images and videos, there are, you know that Google Images is there. Many times what happens, our teachers, our students, they say go to Google Images, just try to download any of the image. But as you know that many of the images are copyrighted. And you should not encourage that, and you should try to provide alternative. What is an alternative? Of course, within the Google Images also there are images which are available under Creative Commons license, which you should ask your users whenever you are looking. Don't take up any image and try to put it on the web or try to put it in your presentation. Is okay because presentation you are doing at a local level, but if you are making it available online, then it will kind of bring to the candidates. So in order to encourage users to use the free images, there are kind of Pixels is there, Pixabay is there, and Unsplash is there. So I have given a link to all of this. If you click here, I'll be sharing my PPT. So you can click here, so then you will be able to go to those sites. And video, no, nowadays you all of you know the video is becoming important content for learning. For example, in engineering and technology, if you want to learn something, for example, you take an example of you want to learn about, for example, yesterday he was talking about Joomla. Okay, his presentation was very limited to 1 hour or so. So you want to learn it, you can straight away go to YouTube, you put Joomla, there are so many videos available. For example, in my example only, I learned WordPress recently, few years back, by going through a YouTube video. So like that, learning is very important, and you can go to these kind of sites and try to learn. And TEDx, you know, is very important. They talk about innovations, they talk about any social issue, and they also talk about the medical conditions. Experts come and talk. They're very short and very good talks being given in different areas of research. So I think you should make available links to these kind of resources from your website, so that your users will be aware that what is available. And also there is an interesting, I don't know how many of you are aware, there's a common craft. It is a very educative and very this kind of a site where they develop a small short videos. Of course, you not to use those videos in your in any of your teachers need subscription is required, but they have made available some of the videos on the internet which can be run. Like for example, if you are taking any session on plagiarism, for example, there is a short video there. It is a very simple way. I'll demonstrate it at the end of my session. You just click on that. Immediately you can go there and explain nicely and which what you wanted to say in say that maybe a PPT of say that 10 or 15 slides. You can just within 5-10 minutes it conveys the same message to them. So sometimes during your PPT you can use these kind of videos run of course because it does not allow you to embed there because of the subscription required, but you can run it from this site. Some of them they have made available freely to the users. And YouTube, of course, it is available in case of maths if and the CC computer this thing. So anyone can go there and try to use those resources. And nowadays in the social media, blogs are very important. So anything new, any research which is happening, they come first as a blog report. For example, I am doing something first. I'll write in my blog. Okay, so and so. Even in library science, there are so many blogs which bring out about latest technology or what they are doing, kind of a thing. So here I try to give some of the sources which are more important to the technological science and technology institution, and some are common, like free technology for teachers. It is good for anyone from starting from a school to university. Less impact flag is basically talks about the social impact. It is about social sciences. Medium it is a general. Pocket is also general. You get to know about latest thing or personality development or about any innovation or any kind of a new thing which is coming up or any economic kind of a thing articles. So you will get there, but only up to certain content is free. Otherwise, if you want to have more, then Medium and all you need to subscribe. And the side DevNet is about science development network. Scholarly Kitchen is basically talks about the different scholarly related activities. Okay, something new which has come in, or about, for example, you are talking about see this Google Scholar or some article or some publications. So you talk about the scholarly resources that will be more useful. You as a librarian, and also you can bring some of it maybe useful for your teachers. Scroll, all of you know about it, and SlideShare. And TechCrunch and TEDnet, they are basically technology blogs. They bring out a new technology which is happening in different new technology are coming up brought out by different companies. So are different. So they are in the forefront. So it comes first there and then later gets spread out in, and even news media takes out some of the content from there and try to bring it to the attention of the public. So these are some of the resources which you should bring to your attention of your teachers, so that they will be getting access to the latest what is happening, latest technology what is coming up. So these are some of the resources are very good to be very useful. And until now, I talked about the different open access resources and how to retrieve them as a one go. For example, you want to retrieve using one kind of source. One is a Google Scholar, all of you know about it. Then you may be aware of this Microsoft Academic Search. This is also a very good source. Sometimes it beats the Google Scholar, and it provides an extensive search for the academic content. And there is a Bellefield academic search engine. Base is very popularly known. It provides access mostly to the open access content. It is a very good source. And there is a Semantic Scholar. Again, Semantic Scholar basically uses artificial intelligence in order to provide access to the content. And Lens is basically a combination of different academic content. It has a content from the academic search, Microsoft, and also I think certain extent from Semantic Scholar. So it combines this thing, and is a very good site. You can find out the patent standards and medical literature, whatever you may. Even you can find out the content for your institution. From even Microsoft Academic Search also provides the institution-wise search. Also. Even you want to know about how much contribution done by your institution, you can search by your institution name. Google Scholar does not have that kind of facility. Then you have to use the publisher page software in order to find out about the particular institution. But that is again limited to 1,000 searches only. Then Get the Research. This is basically about open access. It uses the unpaywall open access database in order to retrieve articles from there. Semantic Scholar, Lens, and Get the Research mostly use artificial intelligence in order to provide you the results. So they are more kind of a specific search undertaking, and you will be able to get access to that. And in case of a digital repositories, what happens if you go to individual digital repository searching means you will be searching only content from those digital repositories. In order to enable you to access content from multiple digital repositories, there are sources called, they're called harvested searches. Even Digital Library of India also provides that kind of service. And here at the world level, there is one digital commons network, and OCLC, Oyster is there. So earlier it was Oyster was independent, later it was taken over by OCLC. If you go to OCLC WorldCat, then there is separate search available. If you go to oyster.worldcat.com, then you will be accessing content from digital repository. In case of Science Central, this is developed by Department of Science and Technology and the effort of Department of Biotechnology. So if anything, any of the content which is being hosted by different science and technology research institutions in India, though it harvests from those institutions. So you can go here and try to retrieve the full text of the research, what is being published by different institutions of the world. And coming to the discovery, for example, discovery, what you do, you go to different discovery tools and try to retrieve. But in order to simplify, further simplify the discovery, there are browser extensions are available. Okay, add-ins, you can call it add-ins in case of Mozilla. So like Google Scholar button, I think you may be aware of it, how it helps. I'll show one or two for your this thing, demonstration purpose. And there is a Lazy Scholar. It is basically equivalent to Google Scholar button. So it does the same, only in addition here, it provides some metrics and citation information, like Google Scholar also provides. OpenNeo, it is for finding free open access papers. It is a freemium because it's available free. Also, it's available for premium, so you have to pay for it. Then Unpaywall, it is only for finding free or open access papers from the Unpaywall database. And there is one more tool called Scholarship for analyzing the papers. It helps you to analyze, okay, how many citations or whatever it has come. So only that is available free for a Chrome browser. Some are the remaining all available for both the browsers. So that I'll demonstrate you at the end of my session when I talk about other resources, other resources. And here, for example, now you want to search only data. For example, Google has brought out a data search engine. For example, I talked about open data, research data. So here, if you can, for example, here try coronavirus or COVID-19 or global temperatures. If you search it here, it will provide you with the data set where it is available. So it helps in order to minimize your data search from different, instead of going to different data repositories, you can search it from there. But sometimes this data set search, what I observed is, sometimes it also provides access to the commercial data set, like Statista, those kind of which are available on the internet. But those sometimes may be free, sometimes you may have to pay in order to get access to that. But however, it's a good source which you can use it and bring to the attention of your users. And to search the patents, Google also has a search engine for patents. So whatever has been indexed in the Google Scholar, they brought out the patent separate search engine. If you go to patentsgoogle.com, so you can search only patent. Of course, here there is an option to include non-patent links. You can include Google Scholar also here in order to get content, not only patent, apart from patent, you can get the other papers also. But specifically, it's better to search only patents so that your users will be aware that let them use it if they want to include Google Scholar also. Then you can read search and full text of the patents which are available all over the world. And so how your users can know about the different courses, or you as a librarian want to know about different courses available in your institution or your college areas of research, then you can go here, Class Central. This is a portal developed by one Indian, maybe he's in abroad, so he is a very interesting site. Here you can find out about the different MOOCs which are available, which have been offered by different platforms all over the world. Even it provides a very good articles about MOOCs, how the development, all of it, how it is happening. You can check it. And in case of images, I talked about some open image sources. Creative Commons licensing this thing. They also have image search engine. So if you can enter any of the term here, and it will provide you the open image. So this is also very good source you can try to retrieve. But sometimes be aware that these free images also sometimes may include some disturbing photographs also. Be careful before you this thing. But you can advise your users also. So there's sometimes you may get the photographs or images which will not be good for viewing. But they are a very important source in case of, like it is like Google Images only. If anything you search So sometimes you may end up having some images which are not supposed to be there, but they are available. They just index it. So take care of that. So whenever you educate that, you will tell your users educate beforehand also. But these are all freely reusable kind of images which you can encourage your users to make it. See here, for example, Creative Commons it has a 500 million images which can be used. You can take any concept or anything. You can search for a dog. If you search a dog, so dog pictures available, we can download them. So in order to put a summary, see, just open resource to enable access to academic and scholarly content at no cost. So that's I mentioned to you. And it opens a window for use of alternative sources of information in study and research. They kind of alternatives to provide. And very useful during an emergency like COVID-19 pandemic, what we are in. And creating awareness and encouraging teachers to make best use of open resources enhances open access movement, because we as a librarians are in the forefront of open access movement. Which if we don't encourage it, definitely your teachers may not be taking it. See, you do it. If somebody don't publish it, we cannot do anything. They see, we can take the horse to the water, but we cannot make it drink. So, but we should at least take our researchers or our teachers to the pond, saying that okay, here is the water. If you want to drink it, drink it. If you don't want, leave it. So, but at least we should encourage them to make use of these resources and try to publish there. And creating a one-point access to open resources from library website ensure effective use. That as I mentioned to you earlier, we as a librarians need to create a kind of one-point access to these open resources in order to make an effective use of these resources by your users. See, unless we bring these kind of resources to the attention of them, definitely they will not be able to come to. Of course, some of them who innovate, who try to look for some, they'll be knowing it, but then again, it will be limited to very few people. So when you bring this to the attention of users, they'll also come to okay, so much is available. And also you as a librarian also will have satisfaction, okay, something I have done, which is being not only used by your users, even they will be used by different users. For example, there is some colleges in Bombay, they are doing excellent work. For example, there is a college in Kandivali Education Society College. So I had been there for a presentation. She does a wonderful job, and she has developed a website using Wix, and they have provided all of the content, all of the libraries, activities there. So they get access to the users of the college, they get access to all of it, what they are doing it, including the activities what they are doing. So that way it also give a very good uplift for the library to make okay, what is available, what library is doing, or what kind of events it is available, what kind of resources bringing to the attention of users. And it's a flip basically for the library and for the librarian also. And also it enhances the image among the users for your faculty. But many times we say that we librarians are basically, we try to be in the back end only. We don't show up in the front end because I forget it, because people may talk about something. We try to keep ourselves kind of a thing, not to come in the forefront or not to be in the limelight. But unless you bring yourself in the limelight, today's world is, unless your presence is on the online, nobody will knowing about you who you are. So this is a kind of situation. So wherein we should as a librarian try to bring this kind of attention of our users. Of course, you may require help of your system people who are there in your colleges. So you need to take their help in order to develop some resources. So develop some of the sites. For example, you don't know how to develop a website, you can request take the help of your computer people, and this is basically a collaborative work. Unless you do it jointly, you will not be able to achieve success. With this, I end my presentation. I'll show you some of the sites from whatever I talked about here. I'll stop share this window and share my web browser. For example, I was talking about Director of Open Access Books. So DOA books. So if you go here, so this is even see open. It is also part of here. See here, it is indexes not only from its directory, it is also indexing from these kind of. It is becoming like a meta search engine to trying to proceed. It has more than 33,000 books, almost 34,000 books, so in different subject areas. Even you can search by using the various options which are available over here. For example, browse. If you click on the browse, so alphabetically you can search it. By subject also you can go. For example, yes, agriculture, food sciences, arts, biology, life sciences, business economics, health sciences, history, language, philosophy, astronomy, social science, technology and engineering. For example, if I click on technology engineering, because most of you are coming from technology, for chemical technology, there are 90 books which are available in chemical. Of course, some of them also not in English language, but many are, for example, acrylic polymers in healthcare. For example, you will see it's done by some Indian author, Reddy. So this is mostly this is the open access book published on an open access platform, indexed by DOAB. So, for example, this is how useful it is for your users. For example, now if you so here the publisher is intake open. So if you click here, so it will take you to the particular books and try to access. So like that, there are different advances Dell sites. For example, this is the done by published by some other publisher. If you click here, it will go there. So you can try to search and try to find out the full text of the book. I think here license also they provided. So if so you can click on that and you will be able to get the full text of this. I think here free access is there. So if you click here, you can buy the book. If you're interested in buying the books, you can do that. Free access. If you click here, you should be able to see the open access. Trying to go there. For example, here it is there. Open access. If you click here, so you will get the full text access to the book. I click here. Okay, download PDF, for example. If I click here, so I'll be able to get access to the. So this way, it will take you to the different publishers. So and you can try to download, bring to the attention of users. So then that will add more value to this. For example, in case of DOAJ, like the director of open access. Yeah, this is, I think they have changed the interface. So this is the predefined fee and open access journals. So it has around see it has 15,600 journals. Out of that, more than 11,000 journals are without APCs. These article processing charges are not being this thing. And here see it is independent organization. All support via donations. It works in 80 languages, and even there are many journals which are published from India also have been included there. So they undertake a very good process of adding journals there. So nowadays many of the pirated, sorry, kind of journals which were publishing a lot of content which is not available. So they have been removed all kind of journals over there. So the only journals which are available now, many of them are recognized, and as I mentioned to you, they are also been indexed by Scopus and Web of Science, and some are also available in UGC care list. So you can go here and search by journal name, or you can go by the articles also up to article level. For example, journal I'll say that library science. There are some frontiers in health informatics, global justice, different language. Okay, intelligence. Maybe I don't know. They, for example, some other things also come in. Maybe that library science word may not be there. You can search using the different keywords, or you can go by some technology, for example. I'm looking only for the technology. So keyword may be different, but that does not see this way. You will get that. The journal charges 300 euro to publish. For example, this is APC journal, so it charges in order to publish. But of course, access to the article is free. But you should not encourage these kind of journals wherein that it does not charge any APC. Those kind of things can be provided access. So if you want to go up to article level, then you can article level search also can be. Here you can search by a title or abstract up to that. For example, if I am looking for example, I'm looking for a keyword econometrics. All fields I'm looking for. So it is some articles are appearing over here. So here is the article. If you click here, you will be able to read it online. Also, you can download it also. Since it's open access, one can download the articles. Coming to the next, I talked about open journals, open access, this thing, and thesis and dissertations. I forgot to OATD. Okay, this is coming from all over the world. For example, here see design of construction of gapper-based advanced material emerging concept supercomputers. I click on that. It show me the full entry here, and it also show me the link where this is available. If I click here, it will open it in a new window and try to provide you access to the full text of the thesis. It is just like any other search engine, how it works. Similarly, it works, but only the difference is whatever you are getting access from here is that this is a dissertation, and here's the last 2 years. Sorry, that is about search limits. So it gives an abstract of that thesis, and one can, for example, here see this is a dissertation where one can download it. So you can revise thesis, view open. If you click here, the complete thesis will get open. See here, the PDF of the thesis is available. They can download it and they can use it for their research. Okay. So, but whenever you telling about these rules, you also make them aware of the plagiarism. So what is allowed and what is not allowed, how they have to reference these materials. So they should not only copy the content from these kind of sources without knowing the implications of it. Okay, this is about OATD, and now I'll just show about ArcSci. Okay, this is about a preprint repository I was mentioning about. So these are the different subjects wherein that you'll be able to get content. Computer science, quantitative biology, quantitative finance, statistics, electrical engineering, system, all those kind of things. And you can go to any subject. For example, I'm going to this thing. So this is about subject. You can enter any keyword here. This is about search by subject. Yes, subject and browse. So here you can enter the okay, see here you're getting the different papers written on that. You can you see here it is the link available, so you can just click on any of the papers, and this is the link, PDF and other. It has been given. So here the bibliographic information is there. So if you click on the PDF, then you get see here the PDF is there. You can download it. And other formats also, EPUB, all those things are also available. We can download that way. Then coming to the next, digital open data or digital repositories. If you go to the open door, this URL is different. So, okay, this is open repository. If you want to search for repositories, click here. Okay, so here you want to go by browse by country. You want to know how many are there from India. You can always do that. So just you can go to Okay, there are 97 repositories which have been indexed for here. So AMU, AJR, Reprints, Bhagirathi, like that. So if you want to know a particular Indian Institute of Geomagnetism, even our repository also been indexed over here. So like that, you can for example, Kautilya digital repository. For example, you want to go to our repository, you can click here. Okay, here is the address. Okay, if you click on this, you go to our repository. So like this, you can individual repository also can be searched over there. And coming to the open data, I'll say that, for example, the World Bank open data this thing, wherein you can find out different database of World Bank freely available. So it can be searched by data source, then individual data from that source you can do the in-depth. They are given all the search this thing for each database, whatever is available. Even you can go to data bank and search it. I was talking about quick share. credit all of your research. That's what they talk about. You can search any of the research. For example, microeconomics. I'm searching some keyword from economics. Okay, see here the different data set. It is basically the Excel sheets have been shared over for some research which has been undertaken. So like this, you can, for example, see there is some article. So those data has been climate change and natural disaster, and in macroeconomic chapter is there. Sometimes people do also share, but sometimes it may be copyright matter, we don't know. But data set I'm mentioning here. Here also license is there. Even you can click, for example, CC by 4 means that data can be reusable. So like that, if you are to be aware of the open licensing, what is being available, and you want only data set, you can limit your search to only data set. Then another thing will apply the filters. Once you apply, you will get only access to the data sets. You will not get access to other kind of material what is stored over here. So this is a very good source. You should make use of it. And coming to the kind like open courseware kind of a thing, like MIT open courseware. This is the open courseware website. So here, for example, this is the new course. Find the courses. For example, you want to know about the topic and go the course number also. Okay, or you want to go by department, you can click on the department. See here, for example, something biological engineering. For example, any of your engineering college is offering a biological engineering course. You can always go here and try to see here the and the level also undergraduate level, graduate level. So, for example, if you click undergraduate level, this thing, viewer course, there is there, and select the lecture notes. You want any exam and solutions, that also is available. For example, selected lecture notes. For example, something teacher talked about lecture 2, how to review all those kind of things. The course material, complete course material is available. So this will be very useful. So for what they are using kind of course material for your teaching community. And coming to the like open courses, I just would like to show you about EDX. SOM and all, you know about it. EDX also you might be aware of it. Just like to show. This is the EDX, which is developed by MIT. And this is developed by Indian scientist Anand Agarwal, who is IIT alumni. So he has built this one, and using the same EDX platform, many of our IITs have developed their own platform, which are also available for learning. So you can 3,000 plus courses out there. So you can go by the course subject. Okay, so there's many courses available. See, because what happens when your students and the teachers, they can make evaluation to their CV, because nowadays these courses are recognized by many of the corporate world. And if you undertaken some courses, that will be an addition for them. And before their completion of only BTech, for example, somebody is doing a BTech, after BTech only their degree will be shown as BTech. But simultaneously, if the student has done it, some additional courses, that always also adds a value to them, value to their CV. So that way you can encourage them to undertake these courses and try to orient and try to educate them, of course, so in order to how it is going to benefit them. Definitely, at least some of them will be taking these kind of courses. And coming to the image sites like Pixels. Stock photos. Sometime you may get access to something, so which I will mention, the videos are also there. So you can your discover. You can videos also. Some of the videos are also there. So these images can be used for any of your presentations. For example, I'm searching for something, say computer or internet. I want to add some image like internet. So these kind of images we use in our presentation. So I want to use, for example, any of your students are going to talk about some cable connection, how the networking works. So they can take out these kind of photographs. So because they are freely available, which one they use it during kind of presentation, then it will be very easy. So if you click here, you'll be able to download the photograph free of cost. So social media, website, all those kind of these kind of sites are very useful in order to use excellent images. See, look at the quality and that taken by the individuals and made available freely for the users. For example, if I click on this, okay, here is the photograph. can share it, I can download it, free download. Sometimes there are certain sites where that some of the images may be chargeable. They show it in advance, but on the pixels, most of them are freely available. So they can download and try to use. Even your teacher can show it to the students when they talk about in their presentation. So really very useful. So for the teaching and for the presentations. For example, coming to the videos, so TEDx, all of you know TED. If I go to TED.com, there are different programs under TED. So if you go to any of these resources, you can watch. For example, I want to watch something. Browse by library of TED Talks.
क्लिक
So here there is a video. So if you click, the video will start ideas about nurture them with something like that. So, who has developed it? Starts. These are very useful for teaching and learning. So into the attention of your students and the learning community. And I was talking about some of the blogs like TechCrunch and all that you can. For example, this is a very even Indian version is also available. So it talks about, see, for US stage investing tourist during pandemic, about different sites. Of course, here technology, it may be sometime having some other content from some other listing also, like Alibaba company, like it's technology related, and sometime other information also available, which you can use it, may be useful for your users. Edinet and all, they provide only the technology related stuff. So coming to the Google Scholar and all, you know about it. I'll not delve much into that. So I'll just show the lens, very good one. So lens. Here, so here you can go by author, institution, and you can go by the patents. That way you can search it. Okay. And for example, I'll go by institution. This thing. For example, Sardar Patel. Let me. I'm just trying to search it. I may get it, I may not get it, but just trying to look for. There are some articles that have been published. I don't know, coming from there. Like this, you can institution also something can be made, but it is coming from I think all over. So actually, you can search by institution. That will be very useful. And coming to the other kind of a search discovery tools, I was talking about Digital Commons Network. Go there. Okay, so Digital Commons Network. If you go here, so you'll be able to get access to the papers, full text papers. You can search here only, or you can go by subject also, or you can go here, for example, education engineering, for example. And engineering, there's so many papers are available, and these are different institutions: computer engineering, electrical, computer science, aerospace, any area you take it. So subject wise they are available, and the leading institutions who are contributing to this, there's been listed over here, and also the popular authors among them, depending upon the downloads how they are happening, so they are available. So this way you can search it. And in case of patents, I was mentioning about patents. So you go here. So this is a patent search engine. You can enter anything, whatever you say. For example, COVID. I just enter this. That's what is the kind of some patents which are related to COVID, wherever it's happening. So it's coming over there. It is like any article what we're referring, but here it's restricted only to patents. Okay, so that way it's retrieving. Even you can filter it out by the date also. Okay, and patent office also, language and status, those kind of, whether it has been already awarded or registered, those kind of things also information you'll be able to get it from here. Coming to other one is, I think that's it. I'd like to end my session with this thing, but if I have any questions, I'll be more than happy to take the questions. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
There are questions.
Yeah.
Questions. So one of the participant has asked that participant wants to know the sources of open access resources and OER textbooks in the subject of economics.
Yeah, there were textbooks, as I mentioned. So there are different sites. If you go to OpenStax, or if you go to Open Textbook, this thing, any subject, because I demonstrated some of those sites also. So they can go there and try to retrieve from there. So they'll get, for example, if it's something related to the EPG Pathashala also provides content. Course material is also available, and also the books are available. Books, course material, and even the articles of the courseware like MIT. Actually, even MIT, if you go business and economics, if you click it, and for the different courses like principal microeconomics, macroeconomics, econometrics, whatever been taught over there, then they'll be able to get it, or the books, whatever.
And another participant has asked that are there these free online open resources are reliable to use?
What is that? Elaborate to?
Are
Reliable
reliable
to
to
use.
Let me check one. Reliable to use. Okay, okay, reliable. Okay, okay. They are reliable because these are being developed by different researchers and different teachers all over the world. They're quite reliable, but you need to maybe sometime you need to check what is being provided there. Many times it's good content provided by different researchers and different teachers. And once you read some of those chapters, you immediately come to realize how good it is and all. And also, for example, open OEP and kind of sources, the index are very good. But of course, there are so like intake open and all. Some people do question the quality of data what's being published in intake open because there the quality is not there. I agree with that. Some of the resources may not be as good, but is that apart from intake open and some of the resources, many of them are really very good, very good. So that you can make use of.
And one more question is that can they share these ebooks with the users?
Yeah, yeah, they can, because most of them are, you can check up the license. So you can check up the license. If not the complete ebook, you just share the link to them. So that way you are protected. So you not have to worry. You just say that link and sharing it with them. It is available on the internet. But you can use them also because nowadays a lot of pirated books are also available. So that way it will become a problem. So you can check yourself. Otherwise, just share a link. Say this is available on the internet. You can check it up. And some are already, as I showed you, they have given their license also. So in case it is the license available, then you mention that it's freely available, is open license content. You can say that as a library.
Okay. And one more question is there that are online videos, course contents, etc. uploaded in institutional repositories considered for API?
If you are talking about your own college or if your own institution, yeah, in case you want to make them available through your repository, definitely they recommend, because but only the thing is that will be come as an institutional activity. Only for the individual people who have developed content, definitely they get a credit for that. For example, many times in the NAC accreditation, they say any open content, whether a video content is being developed, any content being developed by your teachers. What happens? You talk about only if they have done it anything for EPG Padashala or Swayam, all those kind of courses. But there is also some kind of deliberations which is wherein that people say, no, no, we our teachers have developed, we have video recorded all of their lectures. If your video recorded, if you are making it available to the public, then definitely that adds value to that, because they will be able to show it for accreditation. Also, they can use it for their API. But API exactly it denotes that how it is being used, how it's being developed. So those kind of things you need to get some clarification on that. But I'm not sure whether there's such. But according to me, it should be helpful. But however, you can have a clarification from a right person.
I think there are no more questions. Now I request Mr. Sawan to propose a vote of thanks. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Rajashree. Considering limited funds being given to the libraries, open resources are widely used in the library context, and they can give as good as services as as the paid services. I will like to express sincere thanks to Dr. Pooja for giving an excellent coverage to open resources. Thank you very much, sir. With this, I will give some notifications to the participants that tomorrow session will start at 10:30 and we will be not in the position to give them certificate if they don't attend at least for the 2 days. So please do attend it. And with this, I conclude today's session. Thank you.
Thank you very much.